your teacher and you're new to ChatGPT, we're going to get back to the basics. I'm going to start from the beginning to show you the platform of OpenAI's ChatGPT. So we're going back in time a little bit, even though ChatGPT was first introduced to the world in December of 2022. So let's look at the platform from a perspective of creating an account and then looking at the platform. Now stay put, don't go anywhere. Make sure you subscribe and like and comment. We're going to actually create an account using chat.openai.com. You can Google ChatGPT OpenAI. This is what it initially looks like from the login perspective. So you can sign up or just hit login. Now I'm going to tell you that I'm just going to select Google. Either way, even though it's not attached, you can sign up using a typical email, or you can sign up through Google, your Microsoft account, or with Apple. I'm going to select with Google. It's going to give me some options here. This is my paid account. This is not my paid account. I have never set this up before, and it might just prompt me to set it up. So now it wants my birthday. So I'm going to pause for a moment and actually, yeah, I'm going to pause and then I'm going to come back because you don't need to see my birthday. Now we're all signed up. This is what it looks like when you get signed up. And yes, I did pause so that you could not see my birthday. I'm going to show you that this is initially what happens. You have ChatGPT tips for getting started. I recommend you just kind of browse through or at least read it. Ask away. ChatGPT can answer questions, help you learn, write code, brainstorm together, and much more. Don't share sensitive information, meaning don't give it your social security number. Why? Because ChatGPT is what we call a generative pre-trained transformer. That means anything you put into it, it's learning, just like any other artificial intelligence. So just remember that. And then check facts. There are limitations with ChatGPT. Nothing is perfect. Just like when you go into your Google account and you go on any search engine and you ask it something, you have to vet that information. You can't just assume that the information is right. For example, if I go to the Washington Post and they're talking about a university article and the article link is there from the university and it's a peer-reviewed article, I'm going to click and go to the actual source. So remember that. Then there's, okay, let's go. Now, because I've never used this before, it's very, very clean. You have on the left what we call a new chat. The new chat is down here. The platform seems kind of bland, but once you get started, you're going to really enjoy ChatGPT. On the left, we have a dashboard, or this left side that will give you the history of all your chats. You have 3.5. Now, if I want 4.0, I would have to pay the $20 a month. But right now, you don't need that. I recommend you play for a little while, but if you can afford the $20 a month, go right ahead. And then down here, you have settings. So you can do custom instructions and settings. So if I click on settings, it has a theme. I can go to dark mode. I can go back to the light mode. I can manage archived chats, and I can delete all of my chats. I would be very cautious of that unless you're saving your chats and sending them to your email. There are data controls. You can share links. You can export data. And of course, you can delete your account. Now, look at this. Chat history and training. Save new chat. Oh my gosh, I'm tongue twisted right now. Save new chats on the browser to your history and allow them to be used to improve our models. Meaning, you can turn this off. I leave it on because I want to help train ChatGPT. But if you turn it off, they're not going to use your information that you provide when you're asking it questions. Now, over here, or right in the middle, this is the platform itself. It will allow you to it'll give you suggestions like create a personal web page for me. You know what? I would click these. help me pick, come up with concepts, compare marketing strategies. There are two things that you should know about ChatGPT. Those two things that I mentioned to you are called queries and commands. When you think of queries, some people start to go right into, oh my gosh, coding. No. A query in ChatGPT is asking it to give you something like a definition. You're asking it a question or a statement. A command is telling ChatGPT what to do. So we're going to go back into ChatGPT and I'm going to demonstrate the difference. Now, here is an example of a query. I'm going to show you what this is. Tell me about ChatGPT. That is just a query. I'm inquiring about some information. And then I hit enter. And you know it's still thinking because this button right here has got a little circle and like a stop button in the middle. Let's say it's giving me something I don't even want it. I can hit stop and it'll stop. So here is, it gives you some information about what ChatGPT is. It tells you it's a language model developed by OpenAI. It belongs to the GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer family, specifically GPT 3.5 architecture. Note that things before 3.5 actually may have started, like I believe, well, we'll go with 2.0, 2.5, and 3.0 started around November last year. But before that, there were people that had access, like, well, it wasn't me, I didn't have access, but they were playing with it. And it wasn't even this nice then. But now it's kind of clean. So it's giving you some information here about ChatGPT. OpenAI introduced GPT-3 as one of the most powerful and advanced language models at the time of its release. GPT-3 is known for its ability to generate coherent and contextual relevant text based on the input it receives. So it's telling you some things about GPT. And this might be, oh my gosh, I'm a teacher. I don't want to hear all that. Or maybe you are a programmer and you teach programming language at middle school, high school, maybe elementary, because you can teach programming language even in kindergarten. So it gives you a list of things. And that's actually a lot. You can ask it to please elaborate on number one. That's it. And it knows to go to it. It knows to elaborate just on number one. And it's going to give you some more information. And it's really giving you a lot more information just on number one. Now that's a query. The other query I can do now, if you're a teacher and you're in the state of California, or you are in any state or around the world, you can ask it some information. And especially if you're a new teacher, you can say, I am a new teacher in grade 5 and need ideas to teach reading fluency. Just ask it, can you help me? Just something simple. Just ask. Now I'm doing this in the same chat, but believe it or not, I can create a new chat and separate these. So here's it gives me some ideas on what I could do. Reader's theater, choral reading, repeated reading. In the state of California, we are looking at state standards. So I might say, give me a state standard for California in reading for grade 5. Now, I know I spelled that wrong. I didn't do an uppercase for California, but it knows what it will actually fix this for me. And I'll keep going. It gives me a reading standard. Now it says literacy. If I want an informational text, I could ask it to give me the informational text too. Now, even though it's spelled wrong, it will actually figure out what I'm saying. So here's the literacy. Turn to or more main ideas of text and explain how they're imported How are they supported by the key details? I'm gonna go back up here. See, this is how I know that this is the literature one, L, and I is informational, if you didn't know that, but I'm sure many of you do. So that is a query. I'm asking it to share some knowledge with me. Now I'm going to select a new chat. Now I'm gonna go back to some basic things. Now, this was the chat that I originally wanted to, now I'm clicking back on it. I wanted you to see this. I can change the name. I can rename it. Maybe I want to say my first introduction to ChatGPT. But let's go to a new chat. Now we're going to do a command. We're going to tell ChatGPT something. This time, I'm going to go here. Now I can tell it to find the state standard again, but I'm going to hit Control C, Command C on a Mac. I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste the standard. I'm now going to say, using this state standard, create a lesson plan for my grade 5 students that will teach, add peer-to-peer conversation, is interactive, and includes the integration of math and science. Now, I'm really pushing it a little bit, but I believe that we shouldn't teach subjects in isolation. So I'm just going to add that. It just spits it right out. Like, look at this. Exploring the main ideas and supporting details. It gives me some materials, an introduction, reading and text analysis, peer-to-peer conversation. And I'm going to tell you that if you have the upgrade, can upload a PDF from your actual curriculum and say, use what the resource that my district provided for me, and create a lesson plan that is more engaging than what is happening in the book. I mean, it's kind of like mind blowing. So again, this is a command. I'm telling it what to do. That's the command. That is the power of ChatGPT. So remember, on the left, you can have a new chat. You can select any of your chats in the past. You can rename them. Like I would hit these, I would rename it as reading lesson plan, maybe. I can go back and forth. I can go find them. If you download the app and you log in on your phone, that icon that you see right here at the top, that icon is the same one that will go on your phone with the app, and you can do a search history too. And you can do that in your settings here as well. Of course, you can upgrade the plan. If you go to my other YouTube and look at what other things you can do, you can actually see some of the powerful things that ChatGPT can do. Plugins and integration between other platforms like Canva and DALL-E. It's kind of fun. And then again, you can go to your settings. You can do custom instructions, customize your interactions with ChatGPT by providing specific details and guidelines for your chats. Now, I can actually, I'm selecting OK here, because what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? I could tell ChatGPT that I'm a science teacher by trade. I'm a former principal of a STEM school. I can tell it everything I want. My vernacular is this. How would you like ChatGPT to respond? I would like you to respond at a, I would like you to respond at a master's degree level. Note, You could ask it to respond at a ninth grade level. You could get really creative. Now it's giving you some starters on the right. How formal or casual should ChatGPT be? How long or short should responses be? Make sure you at least write 2 paragraphs when responding. How do you want to be addressed? Address me as Dr. Mina. Should ChatGPT have opinions on topics? Give me your opinions on the writing and suggestions for research. And right up here, where are you based? You know, I could put Southern California. You can put where you work, what are your hobbies? I love to whatever. I'm gonna put cycle, read, craft, research, things like that. What subjects can you talk about? I can talk about biology, chemistry, DNA. I really do like talking about that. You can talk about ethics, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to save it. And now I'm going to say, talk to me about genetics for grade 5 and find the NGSS standard to go along with it. Now, this is a query. I'm just asking it to look for some things for me. Certainly, Dr. Mina. It gave me 3 paragraphs. It found a standard. And now I'm going to say, now use this standard and create a 4-week lesson plan for grade 5 with experiment. Certainly, Dr. Mina. And it gives me, it's talking about heredity and traits. This is the free version. Imagine what you could do with the paid version. Now, here is an example of a query. I'm going to show you what this is. Now, with ChatGPT, back to the basics, don't get overwhelmed. Go to chat.openai.com and create an account. Play with the free version for as long as you possibly can until you're like, yeah, I'm ready to pay the $20 a month. You know that $10 a month would be $120 per year. So it would be $240 per year. For me, it was worth it. I will write it off as research. You can use ChatGPT to do so many things. If you haven't watched my other video on students cheating and using it as a tool compared to a transaction, jump into that video. And remember to subscribe to my channel so you can get updates. The basics of ChatGPT. Remember, you can query, ask it a question, ask it to find some information for you, and you can tell it a command, and it will do some things for you. So thank you so much for watching, and come back often, and remember to comment. Tell me how you're using ChatGPT.